Welcome to the Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. I'm your host, Andrew Day. All right, what's happening on the lovely island of St. Martin? Parliament today. You know, I swear that Parliament, you know, when you think it can't get any worse, and then it does, and then all you could do is laugh about it. Because, okay, let me set the scene for you. All right, so Parliament met today concerning our appointment to somebody to a general audit or one of the chambers, and most importantly, the amendment of the 2022 budget. That thing have to be passed or denied before the end of the year so that they can work on and present the 2023 budget. Yeah, we're always late, we're always working from behind. Welcome to St. Martin, it's not a real place. All right, good. Today in Parliament, there were the majority, which is the 8 members of Parliament. If you remember, we have 8 members supporting this particular government. And of course, the rest, the 7, is considered opposition. Yeah? Okay, good. Now, in order for you to have a quorum, for you to have a meeting, 8 members have to be present or more all the time, because majority. If you don't have 8 members, that means you don't have a majority, therefore the meeting can't continue, and then instead of it being called a meeting, it's called a gathering. You stay with me still? Good. Now, most of the time, the opposition like to flex their muscles by showing that if one of the 8 members is not present during the meeting, maybe they went to the bathroom, maybe they went on the road, come back, maybe they went upstairs in their office, maybe they're just sitting in the tribune, whatever. Somebody can say a road call, which means the chairperson of Parliament would have to then call the names of everybody there to see if there is enough support for the meeting to take place. So that happened today, where there was 2 members, or 3, or 1 or 2, I can't remember, but there were a set of members from the coalition was not present in the hall, so the opposition pulled a fast one and was like, roll call. You know, they had to rush out of there quick. But of course, the former President of Parliament, Grisha Martin, doesn't understand it. So she did it wrong because she was supposed to speak. With her speaking, it would have been 8 members there. But after the opposition said, well, some of the opposition members said roll call, she was destined to speak. She had to be speaking. So she said, good morning. Is there a quorum? Oh, there is? Okay, no, there isn't. And then she left while speaking. I swear, if somebody don't coach this green, no pun intended, but this green politician, she is going to be better than Hyacinth Richardson. And you know exactly what I mean by that. Because I'm trying to understand how it is possible that while you are speaking, you are the 8th member, you're going to stop from talking while you're talking and then leave. And then afterwards, bitch about it when you don't get a chance to speak again. Enough of me talking. I just had to set you the scene. This is what happened in Parliament today.
The proposal of order by MP Westcott Williams. MP Westcott Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Chairman, and a good afternoon to all. Mr. Chairman, I want to propose that rather than the speaker's time that is mentioned in the convocation, which is 20 minutes first round, 10 minutes second round, that we maintain the budget speaking time because this is the budget 2022, late albeit, but it is the budget 2022, and normally we would do 90 minutes and 45, 90 in the first, 45 in the second round, and I want to propose that for this budget debate in a public meeting of Parliament, we maintain our budget speaking time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's the proposal. Thank you.
Thank you, MP Westcott Williams. Anyone else? Don't see anyone seconded in the time I'd given, but now I will go according to the speakers list. MP Grisha Martin has the floor. MP Grisha Martin, you have the floor.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
She didn't ask.
MP Peterson, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, you did not give the members of parliament any opportunity to raise our hands to second the proposal of order made by MP Westcott Williams. You just looked at us and then went silent.
Silence is volume 2 sometimes. I gave the floor to second it, and I did not see anyone doing that. So I would now proceed with the speakers list, and MP Grisha Martin has the floor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon to yourself. Good afternoon to the Secretary General. Good afternoon to the, yeah, I guess we have no quorum. We have quorum?
MP Akeem Arundel,
Present.
MP Bijlani,
Present.
MP Bryson,
Presente. Present, sorry.
MP Duncan, MP Emmanuel, MP Gums, MP Heiliger Martin,
MP Gums is present. Oh, Rumo, sorry.
MP Ponteflet,
Present.
MP Peterson, MP Richardson,
Present.
MP Ramu,
Present.
MP DeWeaver, MP Westcott Williams,
We just adjourned the meeting and until further notice. Meeting adjourned.
Of course. And you know, Cookie was a bit aggressive today. Take it easy, Cookie. Cookie took this chairperson thing serious. You notice, like he was ready to get black. Do not mess with me. You know, get serious. Be careful, you know. Don't mess with Indians and people, or you watch out. All right. So the meeting was then recalled, of course, because of course the meeting, the 8 members were there present, so they continued the meeting a little later on Tuesday, and yeah, then this happened.
During the meeting earlier today, the minister gave his presentation and the floor had just been given to the first speaker, MP Grisha Heiliger Martin.
A point of order, Mr. Chairman.
MP Bryson, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, I just would like to understand how we left the meeting a while ago, because there was an 8th person in the room. There were 8 people in the room. At the time, the speaker, MP Grisha Heiliger Martin, asked, yeah, I guess we have no quorum. Then stated, oh, we do? Okay, now we don't. Then walked away from her speaking time. Until she had left the hall, Mr. Chairman, there was a quorum. So she walked away from her speaking time, and then you asked for a roll call. The MP did not ask for a roll call. So am I to understand who is to speak next? Because if that is the case, while I'm speaking, am I allowed to walk away from the microphone while there's a quorum, chill out for a bit in the hall, and then come back and continue my speech? I would just like to understand what we're doing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, MP Bryson. Let me just understand this with my General Secretary for a minute. to my own knowledge, which I know, and after consulting with my Secretary General, I believe MP Grisha Marlin had the floor. Grisha Heiliger Martin had the floor when the quorum was there. She could have continued with the quorum, but she herself relieved that. So I believe her speaking time is not available anymore. So I would like to go to the next person on the list.
Point of order,
That is
Mr. Chairman.
MP Sarah Westcott Williams. MP Westcott Williams, you have the floor.
Are you going to ignore my point of order, Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman, based on what rules of order is it that I gave up my speaking time? I said I noted, I didn't see any other MP. From what I counted here, it was about 7 of us, and I walked out because that was the count. So I said, to my knowledge, I didn't see it.
MP Grisha Heiliger Martin, I mentioned, including you, we were 8,
So
and the
what
meeting was
rules of-
continued. And as MP Bryson just mentioned that, oh, so without me, now it's none, and he walked out. So you really had to pause the quorum here. Otherwise, we were 8 and we could have continued. So at that moment, I believe you took a decision, you don't want to continue further.
I never mentioned
And
that.
you left when you leave. So your speaking time got over with that.
That's not a problem,
I
Mr.
would
Chairman.
go,
Thank you.
next person on the list is MP Sarah Westcott Williams, but she has not signed the attendance list. So being that case, I would go MP Christopher. Okay, I give you 2 minutes. It's not ridiculous, please. So when you are here, please sign the attendance list. You've been waiting here for 30 minutes. MP Sarah Westcott Williams, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon to our Secretary General and my colleagues. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to the Minister and his entourage. Good afternoon to all tuned in to this meeting. Mr. Chairman, it is clear. It is clear why the chair lady, former chair lady of Parliament, was unceremoniously dismissed from her function. It is now very clear. It is clear what we expect of a chairperson. And if that is not taking place the way we expect it, I guess, Mr. Chairman, you will be next.
All right, so what can I say? Democracy at its best, people. That's all. That's all. It's so hypocritical from the PFP because they have the record for the most walkout for this parliament here. The most walkout. They're just walking out of every single meeting. What's going on? Or you just don't come to work anymore? Is it that you just come and, you know, just nothing, zero type of... I don't know. I just don't know. PFP, Orajana Bofo, whatever. In other news, Savage Chris is not letting go from the airport. Yes, the airport is still on the minds of our good politicians. And of course, the head on the chopping block is Brian Mingo, who is continuously the worst. The worst CEO in St. Martin history. I gotta make sure to emphasize on the history. And anyway, Savage Chris is going to make a file and file a complaint with the public prosecutor office for them to investigate the whole hoopla at the airport. He said that during an interview with PGD2 Radio.
But I want to launch a formal complaint at the prosecutor's office to look into the matter of what is happening down at PJIA, because, you know, at some point in time, we got to call a spade and say when something is wrong. And this is wrong. Now you're telling us that the terminal building will be complete in 2024, the second quarter. Stephen, it is unacceptable. And then they give you these press releases and nothing from the government in terms of questioning, but why? Why is this happening? And then you see them come out with these report after report that the airport itself commissioned in 2017. And you know, the thing about it, Stephen, is that the airport requested a report to be done in 2017. They called NACO. NACO put them on to ABT that did the report. Stephen, today the engineering company on the airport that's doing the engineering is NACO, the same company. But yet you get the airport and ballast near them coming out and telling us that these things are unforeseen. No, Stephen, is unacceptable. So we need answers, and we need to get down to the nitty-gritty of the matter. They need to come with tangible answers. They need to put the numbers together. They need to inform the people of St. Martin in terms of specifics. And don't take us for granted. Don't do as if we are not intelligent enough to understand the dynamics of the construction or the reconstruction of the airport. I think that is what they are banking on. They look at St. Martin as a group of individuals who are basically indigent and dependent on so many other things that we are so focused on something else that we are not seeing what is happening.
Okay, so what have we learned? We have learned that Savage Chris would rather be a police officer. We have learned that the PFP likes to walk out along with Grisha being an inexperienced member of parliament. We have learned that 8 members of parliament is going to continue governing this place by the hook and by the crook. Oh, and also, Aunty Sarah is very upset. Very upset. Pissed off. During St. Martin's Day, MP William Marlin, who's the Vice Chair of Parliament, stated that if the unity flag could speak, the unity flag would say to the opposition, forgive them as they do not know what they do. It was kind of harsh, I ain't gonna lie. So Sarah went off on Uncle Willie. Oh, Aunty Sarah, Uncle Willie, they just bring back such good warm memories. So yeah, Aunty Sarah went pat. Take a look.
The chairperson of parliament, who only by the virtue of being chairperson of parliament could have occupied the podium, should have been representing the members of parliament, representing parliament, saw it fit and opportune to take a turn, so to speak, in his own members of parliament, some of his own members of parliament. Mr. Chairman, I need to make it very clear that the President of Parliament represents the Parliament of St. Martin and each and every member. To use a public platform to ridicule and belittle members of Parliament is distasteful, to say the least, uncalled for, and not at all genuine, coming from someone of a political party that is notorious, not for protesting with the French side, but against the French side of St. Martin. So, Mr. Chairman, to then add insult to injury, to suggest and use a biblical phrase in this context towards members of parliament, and I paraphrase, if the unity flag could have spoken, it would have said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." Coming from the President of Parliament, who should be speaking on behalf of the Parliament of St. Martin, let it be stated clearly during this notification that I completely reject that kind of representation on behalf of the Parliament of St. Martin.
Whoever wants to take it distasteful, that is for their account. Mr. Chairman, if I lied, like some people have been doing now, continuously ever since 2017 for political expediency, paint him anti the French. Just yesterday, talking and making joke with some friends, a guy said, "I heard your speech, but didn't they say you're against French people?" I said, "Well, my wife's from the French side, so I guess that's a demonstration of the fact that I don't like French people, but my wife comes from right there in Rambo. That's where she grew up with her grandmother." And then one of them said, "So come they always say don't like French people?" I said, "Well, it's probably politically sound for people to say." Two things keep popping up always. William Allen don't like the French, and then since 2017, William Allen blocked the border. Mr. Chairman, no matter what you do, tapes were released, videos with me removing the container and having the container removed. One person who I sure was witness to that is a former State Secretary and former Prime Minister Marcel Gums. He was on location. Also, the gentleman, I forgot what he named, Relic, he gave sort of instructions, put it there, because when I heard that the border was blocked, I said that is unacceptable, and I maintain that. Had I blocked it? No, I did not. But there are those up to on St. Martin Day finds it necessary to make it sound as if, oh, that's the guy who blocked the border. Yep. These things continue, and that is distasteful. When one fabricate lies and use their immunity in Parliament to spew those lies. Mr. Chairman, I said what I have said. Those who don't like it, they can start a court case against me for defamation of character if they so desire, but I won't hide behind immunity and accuse people of things they have not done. Picking fight about Oyster Pond, and I know you have asked to keep it short, so I will end it here. That too is a blatant misrepresentation of the facts. Oyster Pond was always known to be all the water belonging to the Dutch side of the island. And for a prefect to, not only during my tenure, but during the first period of country St. Martin, when MP Westcott Williams at the time was Prime Minister, they tried something. When former Prime Minister Marcel Gums was in office, they tried something. When William Allen was Prime Minister, they tried it again. And I didn't shy away to say, well, I have to defend St. Martin because that's who I took an oath to defend. I didn't take an oath to defend France or the Prefet. I took an oath to defend the 36 square miles of St. Martin.
That's enough drama for today. As St. Martin turns, join us tomorrow for another episode. We're going to see who's the father, who's not the father. I don't know. It's just the drama. It's just so good. I can't just get enough. Welcome to the Late Night Show. We have a good one for you. Let's begin.
During the hurricane season, a potential tropical cyclone can produce rainfall that can cause flash flooding and rock falls. Residents in areas prone to flooding or near the coast should make the necessary preparations to protect life and property. Stay away from flood-prone areas during heavy rainfall, such as L.B. Scott Road from Emilio Wilson Park until Cake House Supermarket, Zaker's Gut from Petro Plus gas station until the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Welka-Laken Road in Cahill from Welka-Laken Road roundabout until the One-Tete Loke roundabout, Beacon Hill Road from Sunset Bar and Grill until the beginning of White Sands Road, Rhine Road, also known as Mullet Bay Road, after Sonesta Maho Beach Hotel to the entrance of Kupakoy from the intersection of University Drive until the intersection of Rio Grande. For more information on how you can keep yourself and your family safe this hurricane season, visit stmartingov.org/hurricane. This public service announcement is brought to you by the Government of St. Martin.